I get it. You want to build a brand, but you're struggling. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Building a brand is not easy, but it is simple. Elegantly simple, but you're going to have to embrace one big idea, because building a brand is not about you or your business or even your product when it starts out. You see, it is all about the market. All of this and more on today's loyalty loop from, well, the shower. Why am I in the shower? Well, I'm in the shower because I love this line of hair care products. It's called Under the Sun. That's right. And it's not just shampoo, it's a whole line of hair care products. Now that I've told you about Under the Sun, let me give you a little background. You see, Under the Sun is actually a product created by my hairstylist, a woman named Lauren. I don't know her very well, but she handed me some product and I've tried it. And I think it works. You see, Under the Sun is specifically designed for people like me who live in Florida where it's really sunny. And the product is intended to give you healthier hair when it's exposed to lots and lots of sun. That's why it's called Under the Sun. Now, it was Lauren's vision to turn Under the Sun into a massive, unbelievably powerful brand in the marketplace, not just in Florida, but all over the world, and to see her product in stores and shelves worldwide. You see, Lauren started the company in 2013, so she's starting her 6th year of business, and she's frankly getting a little bit exhausted on building the brand. How can Lauren fix this? How can she accelerate her growth, transform her business, and build her brand a lot faster in the next year or two so that she sees her dream become a reality? Well, that's what we're gonna go and do, but I gotta get dressed and I'll see you in the kitchen because we need to talk about apple cider vinegar. Ha! All right, I am showered, shaved, dressed nicely, and ready to talk about brand building with Under the Sun. Brand building isn't easy. There are 2 ways to build a brand. One, you could raise awareness for Under the Sun. You could buy a ton of advertising to increase your market share for Under the Sun. And if you increased your market share from, let's say, 0% to 0.5%, that would be a huge boon in your business, because Under the Sun is competing with hundreds of other brands of shampoo, conditioner, and leave-in conditioner on the marketplace, and it would be really tough to out-advertise some of the biggest brands in the market. Now, this is the same with apple cider vinegar. There are hundreds and hundreds of brands of apple cider vinegar. I have one here called Spectrum Organic Raw Unpasteurized Apple Cider Vinegar. I have this one called Unfiltered Apple Cider Vinegar from Trader Joe's. And if you were this brand of apple cider vinegar, it would cost a lot of money to outspend people like Heinz, who has a huge percentage of the market share. In fact, I think we have some Heinz vinegar. Hold on a sec. And no, I don't have any Heinz, but look what I just found. A giant bottle of Greenwise apple cider vinegar. And to recap where we are so far, the first way to build a brand is to raise awareness for your brand in the marketplace, and the best way to increase your market share and raise awareness is to, what? Buy advertising. Yes, you've got to buy ads, Super Bowl ads, any kind of ads you can afford to raise awareness, make more people in the marketplace aware of your brand, and that will increase your market share. But I want to talk about a much more interesting way to build a brand, and that's why we're going to talk about apple cider vinegar. I have a lot of apple cider vinegar in my house because I had 2 people from California visit me in the last 30 days. Separately, on separate occasions, they came to my house, and they both told me that I must be drinking 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar every day.
Every freaking day.
1 tablespoon. Here goes. And this is where the water comes in. Why would I put myself through the torture of drinking 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar every day?
Every freaking day.
It's because I'm told by these 2 people on 2 separate occasions that 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar every day will make my stomach sing. It will make my gut work in harmony. It will make me feel better. I'll have less digestive problems, and I'll age better, and I'll even feel less hungry. So I've been buying apple cider vinegar. Apparently lots of apple cider vinegar. Now let's back up for a second and think about how much apple cider vinegar you would normally use. You see, when you're cooking with apple cider vinegar, you're using 1 tablespoon at a time. There are 32 tablespoons in this jar of apple cider vinegar, and let's assume for a second that you cooked every other week using apple cider vinegar 1 tablespoon at a time. You would go through 1 bottle of apple cider vinegar in I don't know, 1.2 years. That means if you want to sell more apple cider vinegar or you want to penetrate the apple cider vinegar market, you've got to wait for people to refresh their need for apple cider vinegar to just sell your bottle to them. These 2 people that came to my house have increased my need to use apple cider vinegar. In fact, I'm using it once a day instead of once every other week. I'm drinking it a tablespoon at a time straight, and I'm going through apple cider vinegar like it's water. I don't know what it's like. It's not like water. It's yucky. But it's supposed to be good for me. And that's what we're going to get to next. Somehow, apple cider vinegar has created an entire movement that's increased demand for the product. It's not increasing awareness for one brand of apple cider vinegar. In fact, it's just increasing demand for an entire category of products. That means that everyone is selling more apple cider vinegar. Instead of increasing their slice of the pie, the people in the apple cider vinegar world are seeing an increase in the size of the pie. And this, my friends, is the second way to build a brand. But in order to understand how this works, how powerful it is, and how Under the Sun and Lauren can use it to build her brand, we're gonna need to go to my office and my laptop. So let's go. Okay. Now, we already talked about the first way you can build a brand, and that's raise awareness or buy ads. The second way, the more cost-effective way, is to think like the apple cider vinegar people. And to do that, you must increase demand. Here's what I mean. We are going to use Google Trends. Google Trends is the most underutilized marketing tool in the universe. Now, if you've never used Google Trends, that's okay. Let me show you what I mean. We're gonna type in apple cider vinegar. And we're gonna look at the demand for apple cider vinegar since 2004. Now, I believe that you can search for almost anything in the world and get a good understanding of the demand for a product or service just by using Google Trends. And as you can see right here, at the end of 2016, there is a massive spike for the demand of apple cider, and it continues today, even though it's dropped from its peak point in early 2017, there is still a huge demand and they predict it to go up. Before that, it was slowly and steadily chugging along as just an ingredient in people's recipes. Now, what we need to do next is understand what caused that spike. How have they increased demand for the entire category? How have they increased the size of the pie? And that takes a little bit of sleuthing. But I know from this chart here that in December of 2016, that's the beginning of this giant spike. So what I do is I use a simple Google search, the googly goo. And into Google, I'm going to type in apple cider vinegar. Now, what's important here is I'm not looking for the best results. I'm looking for results around December of 2016. So I filter those results for a custom range. I type in the dates that I want to search and I hit go. Now, the last thing I do is I actually click on the news because I want to know what media might have covered something that increased demand for apple cider vinegar on or around the end of November or December in 2016. And here's what I find. I'm gonna click on this story from CNN. This is from CNN, it seems pretty credible. Now here's the key. A study published in Diabetes Care looked at men and women with type 2 diabetes, and the researchers found that when the participants downed 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar before bed with a snack, they had lower blood sugar levels in the morning. Blah, 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 blah. Here's another one from Medical Daily. All of these studies seem to coalesce around a few key press incidents that happened at the end of December 2016. And that, my friends, is what has increased demand for apple cider vinegar globally. Man, there are tons of studies all coming out around December of 2016. And all we did to figure this out was use Google Trends and Google News. So what does this have to do with Lauren and Under the Sun? Lauren has a great product. She's designed a great brand. All she needs to do is increase demand for a product in the marketplace. And I'm not saying you need to create a study. In fact, a lot of these studies were done way before the December 2016 spike. Let's do this. Let's look for effects of sun on hair health. There are studies already out there. In fact, I'm going to click on this one from the Cleveland Clinic. Best ways to protect your hair from sun damage. It goes through a long list of stuff and the problems that you go through. All Lauren needs to do is invite the press to tell this story. And we're going to talk about that in a future episode of the Loyalty Loop. But for now, all I want you to remember is if you're building a brand, look for alternatives to just raising awareness. Raising awareness is costly, time-consuming, and there's no guaranteed outcome. Instead, think about increasing demand for the products and services you sell. And one of the best ways to do that is to create the right kind of content. Content designed to increase the demand for an entire category of products, not even just yours. And the key is to control the search, which we'll talk about in the future. In the meantime, I'm gonna look into other unbelievably amazing cure-alls like turmeric, which my brother also told me about from LA. I'm supposed to eat a gallon of turmeric. 10 proven health benefits of turmeric with pictures of the benefits. There's pictures of the benefits. I don't know. I'm a little worried I might turn orange.